welcome back to another episode of Laguna Studios Live, and we're gonna do some stuff tonight. And I feel like it's important to let you all know that nobody can see you when you're backstage, but I can. I can see you.
Fabulous. I'm delighted by this fact. For those of you who missed it.
So,
me thinking,
yeah, sorry we are, well, you don't know what you did, but I know what you did. You don't remember?
Oh, is it
I
on
never
backwards?
forget.
Might be.
Anywho's, yeah, sorry we're all late, because we're just, technical difficulties, it happens. And, well, we're gonna do some drawing stuff, and some talking stuff, and Fish is coming back at some point. And hopefully his stuff is fixed so that he can draw too. But Kelson's gonna draw, and you get to watch Kelson draw this time, which will be weird, right? And then once we're done, when everybody's done drawing something, we're gonna pick somebody to give it away to. But there's a catch: you have to back Granica in order to get Kelson's piece of art. So if you want to be entered in the drawing, you got to be a backer. And if you want to, if Fish is able to draw, we're gonna try it. We're gonna do a little something with backing his campaign too. But if he might not be able to draw, so we might not be doing anything like that. And while we're waiting for Fish to come back, if you are watching, tell us in the comments what you think Kelson should draw.
That's true.
No porn. We're on YouTube, so it can't be porny.
Only a little porn, just a little.
It could be sexy. It just can't be porny.
Define horny. From a legal standpoint.
Well, like, if you can't see it in a PG-13 movie. Like, actually, I don't think boobs are okay on YouTube either, are they? Hello, Fish!
Hello!
How
many inches of cleavage?
I know.
The gang's all here.
As with my book, it depends on which side the cleavage is on. That's where it really matters.
Well, that's true, too. Yeah, side boob seems to be fine for YouTube. No nips. I guess, there's no nips. That's a YouTube thing. If you show off the nips, you're gonna get banned. Which I assume extends to art, but I don't know.
No, lady nips.
That's true, yeah, no, yeah.
Oh, man, I see so many dog
sexist
nips,
at all,
cat
but-
nips. It's ridiculous.
But no,
Fish nips.
no.
Pushing boundaries.
Just the word alone will get you banned on YouTube.
It's 2 words.
No.
I said it as 2 words.
Oh. Well, that fixes everything.
Yeah.
I am ready.
All right. Oh, I see Fish's screen. Is it working?
Yep, it is working now. I had to reboot
Sweet.
it, and that made everything work right all of a sudden.
Magic.
Yarg!
Sorcery.
So, yeah, we don't have anybody commenting on what they think you guys should draw yet. So I'm gonna Google some prompts if that doesn't happen. Or we could do some kind of mashup thing where Kelson draws Alice and Fish draws somebody from Granica. Who do you want Fish to draw?
I would say he should draw Jerry. Jerry would be fun.
All right, I gotta get. Well, I don't gotta get Fish. I don't gotta get Fish no damn references. He's got the whole fucking book.
He's got
Fish
the whole
colored the damn
book
thing. He knows
on his hard drive. Got the whole book on
Catchy.
his hard drive.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want to do that? Like, Kelson, you can draw Alice, and Fish can draw Jerry.
Okay. Let me get some references out.
He's the tall dude, right?
Yeah, Jerry's the
He
tall
is
guy.
the tall dude.
Not
Right.
to be disrespectful or anything. I suck at names.
No, I think his character sheet description was like just stupid tall.
Actually,
Yeah.
I think it was even less than that. I think when I read it, it just said tall.
Really? I think I might have put a measurement in there, which equated to stupid tall.
No, yeah, I think you are
what's
very
the conversion
detailed.
on that in meters?
1.6 ridiculous talls.
Oh,
RTs for short.
gotcha.
Okay. I got some references.
Cool. You still have to share your screen if you want me to show anybody, Kelson.
Oh. I do
All
have
that
some-
work to get you all set up and then forget to share the screen. Which I can
Present.
only share one at a time here, but we can just go like we'll watch Fish for
In
a few
between.
minutes and then we'll watch Kelson for a few minutes and so on and so forth.
I'll share my screen. See an embarrassment of browser tabs.
I'd be afraid of what those browser tabs
Man,
Can I read you my
Insane.
favorite?
read. you
2025 Electric Knife Fighting Exhibition Rules. That's a real tab in my.
Electric knife fighting?
Yeah.
Like those bread knives that you use to
Whatever you think it is, it isn't.
I'm sure it isn't. It's not lightsabers, I don't think.
No,
'Cause that
they're
would
shorter.
say lightsaber.
Yeah,
Uh
2 words to avoid copyright.
All right.
we're always concerned about copyright, yes.
Yes.
May I begin?
Yes, go for it.
Okay.
And look at that. Look at that. We can see Kelson's screen now. Holy shit.
No way. Wait, if I do this, will it? No way. Okay.
Just like magic.
I don't know who's more excited about this. This Kelson seems the most excited.
I mean, I'm pretty ecstatic. Not gonna lie. Okay,
Ugh.
let's get started here.
And I'm gonna read. We are for Granica. We're less than $100 from $2,000, and we've got 92 backers.
Nice.
And I think at 100 backers, we're gonna do a little achievement. We're gonna release a stretch goal, or not a stretch goal, an add-on.
good deal. Congratulations.
Thank you. Let's look at where Alice is right now too.
Oh, we don't have to talk about negative things. Let's stay positive on this stream.
No, you're closer to goal than we are. I mean, you're like,
Well, yeah, but my goal's probably lower too.
well, yeah, no, your goal is lower. That's
Yeah.
That's fair.
That's, and it's not where I was hoping to get, but it's like where I decided to set it to start out, and it looks like it's going to be a squeak to the end on this one.
Yeah, I don't I was talking to somebody else about it, and they were suggesting, and this is a thing that Fish, you've got experience on Kickstarter as well, so you can tell me what you think about this. That he suggested that we have to build our audience back up almost from scratch. As we
There's
did with
definitely a
Kickstarter.
lot of people did not come over from Kickstarter that I expected would.
Agreed.
A lot of the real hardcore backers did, but not all of them did. And so I was kind of surprised because like so many people like Laguna's been doing the end of their campaigns on BackerKit either way. So I just assumed everybody had a BackerKit account, but not everybody does.
Mhm.
And so like a couple people that I thought for sure would have like backed everything y'all have done so far were like, oh, I don't know, I'm scared to set one up. And I didn't expect that.
Yeah,
But-
yeah. I if I look at our backers, I actually see almost no names that I recognize. There's very few backers that almost that are pretty, like they always back our Kickstarter
Mhm.
stuff, and they're not there, and it's really interesting. I mean, obviously it's disappointing from a certain perspective too, but it's also fascinating to see that carryover just isn't there.
Yeah.
And because we did a campaign for hoodies the last time we were on BackerKit, the hoodie people don't necessarily care about comics.
Yeah.
Some of them do, I'm sure, but not.
Well,
all.
yeah, I mean they were comic themed, so you'd think there's going to be some carryover,
Yeah.
but
But
not all
yeah,
of
like
it.
more mainstream comics don't necessarily doesn't necessarily translate either. So
Mhm.
it's been interesting to see, and it's I'm curious. Like obviously I'm disappointed because this is like this, but I feel like we're just not reaching our Kickstarter people, and I'm very interested in figuring out how to reach our Kickstarter people.
Mhm.
And there are actually several people who are surprisingly don't want to back stuff on BackerKit too, which is interesting. They say BackerKit is not they don't trust it, or they don't want to sign up for another account. Very
Which
interesting.
that one I could kind of understand, especially like
Very
if
much-
they're
yeah, I know.
already on like Indiegogo or something too. I could kind of see that part, but I don't know. It seems weird to me. It wasn't really an issue for me. My only gripe with BackerKit is the figuring out the shipping at the end. Like I want to know
Yeah.
going in what I'm going to spend, but I do like the idea of getting an actual cost of what it costs to get it to me, and not just an average of what it costs to get it to everybody. And maybe I'm paying way more than was necessary or something. Like I know in the past when I've estimated shipping on a Kickstarter for people like overseas, like some people are getting charged extra and some people aren't getting charged nearly what it costs. And I'm kind of
Absolutely.
hoping that it all evens out in the end. But that's not really fair for the people that didn't cost as much. Not everybody lives in Australia. And so, I don't know.
Right.
I kind of like that part, but I also like knowing what I'm going to pay, even if it means it's not 100% fair.
Yeah, and that's an argument I've been seeing a lot too. Is like people don't want to have to log in and pay twice.
Mhm.
So with BackerKit, the first payment that you're making is for just the merchandise, and then you have to log in again. And I've seen people say that they will legit just abandon the reward that they paid for because they don't want to add in the shipping after the fact. And that's a very curious stance. But I get it. I mean, like, I see both sides of it.
Yeah, I mean, I make my living drawing comics. It's not the best paying gig in the world. Like, the money I put in, the money I invest into Kickstarters and stuff is, it's an investment in the community and other creators and stuff. Like, it's not just fun money I have to blow. It's an investment in my learning about what's going on and what's working in the community, and helping other people accomplish their dreams. And
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, it's just it's got its pros and cons for sure, but
mhm.
Well,
whoa. Just swapping screens and gun.
gun. Babes and guns.
Delaney says, "Whoa, I'm loving this so far," and I think maybe it was in reference to Fish because I just switched the screens. So
Definitely doesn't like mine. That's for sure.
I had so many jokes I wanted to make at that, but I didn't want to be mean. Like, if it was my kids, we would have come out swinging at each other. But, I know not everybody plays as rough as we do, so I was trying to be more thoughtful.
I think that
So
it's
easy on me.
that's interesting too because I've been told I'm kind of mean, and if you met
I
my
think I've told you
family, and what?
I've been saying that all the time.
Well, well, it's just like the way that my family behaves with each other. I had no idea
Oh,
that I
yeah.
was mean until I was an adult. And I'm
Oh,
like,
man.
I'm not intentionally being mean. I think I'm being, funny and interacting or whatever. I was like, this is the way that normal people act, right? And apparently
Mhm.
it's not. I've had to actively teach myself how to be nicer, and like, if you say something that's kind of biting and dry and sarcastic, other people might not take it the way that I was raised into.
And like,
So I had to
I
break
don't mean
myself of
any,
that.
I don't mean any offense by it, but like, I have definitely noticed there is a tendency in Yankee families to like be a lot meaner in their jokes. Like my ex-wife's family, they were brutal to the point that like my son hid his Tourette's for years and tried to suppress it because he was terrified of what her family was going to do making fun of him. And
Oh yeah, absolutely.
like it can be tough. Like,
Katie's
Particular
here.
wildlife.
what is up, Katie? We will pick on each other, but like as soon as I find out like one of my kids is something like they're sensitive about something or hurt their
Mhm.
feelings, it's done. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. And that's the way it should be. Like, you can go ahead
Yeah.
and poke fun, but it stops. If somebody cries, it stops being fun, and you shouldn't be
Mhm.
doing it anymore. Unfortunately, not everybody ascribes to that rule, so
Yeah,
that's
that's
a
Yeah.
problem.
This is fun. I like drawing. I like drawing this character.
it is, isn't it? I'm telling you. Like, that's the thing I got about Kaw all the time when somebody would do fan art of him. It's like, man, he's really fun to draw. And I was like, he is. The big, massive hands and everything, man, he's ridiculous and fun.
I drew Kaw once, and I found it an extreme challenge.
Oh, man, most of the time, the big, massive hammer hands aren't that bad until like you try and do something where you have to put his big, massive hands anywhere near his tiny, tiny cranium, and then that's just really hard to draw and not make look really stupid.
Katie
And like
says
in
it's 2:25 in the morning there, and also she needs to finish drawing her picked piece for Kaw.
all right, now I want us to all go ahead and hold our breath now until she gets finished.
Harsh, but true.
Maybe the thought of a
Sorry,
quadruple
Katie.
homicide will make her hurry and get it done.
Oh,
That's all I got.
boy, that
Bunch of
camera really
blue-faced
shows off
gasps.
how red you get.
Yeah, the camera.
What do we think?
I had a thing. This is awesome.
Yeah, I'm loving that
If
so
you
far.
guys, everybody watching, if you want to win a piece of this art, first of all, you have to be a backer. I mean, you at least have to be a Granica backer, but like preferably be a Granica backer and an Alice Lost in Wonderland backer, which you can.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, if you go to gomrfish.com, that'll take you to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, so if you want to win, well, if you want to win Fish's art, you got to be a Granica backer, and I think if you want to win Kelson's art, you got to be an Alice backer, and
It sounds fair.
yeah, that's what I thought, and you can do that by going to the respective, like Granica is the ticker there. Go there, back at lagunastudios.net. And Alice is gomrfish.com, which you can see it typed out there in Fish's camera window.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a backer, it has a backer number. You can tell me your backer number, and then type hashtag free stuff, and I will put you in the drawings.
Mm.
If not, we're gonna have fun watching Kelson and Fish draw stuff.
Who can finish first? Not me.
I am surprised that you were, because I don't know why I had it in my head that you were not a fast drawer. It was because I guess because it took a while to get our pages done, but that wasn't even your fault. So like it was us not giving you stuff to do. So I had it in my head.
Well, In my opinion, I think I'm a slow drawer. So, we'll see. The only thing I will say though is that my like kind of skeleton drawing, the preliminary stuff before I finally tie everything down is very sloppy. So I promise it will get better as the time goes on.
It looks great so far. And
super
I said,
cute.
you're going very quickly, so no problems there.
Thank you.
Katie says everyone here draws faster than I do, which is an unfair comparison because Kelson and Fish are very much comic style artists, and you are a wildlife painter, so that seems like an unfair comparison. Like Katie paints photorealistic wildlife art, and like you can see every individual hair and shit on her paintings, like everything, and like each blade of grass she paints. So like, yeah, of course it takes 60 hours to complete a painting.
Yeah,
that's what happens. 60 might be being generous in some of those bigger ones too. Katie, what's the longest piece that what's the longest amount of time you've ever spent on a single piece? I'm curious now. And yeah, it's a whole like Katie says she can't do line art, which is fair because of the way she makes. She literally just makes blobs of color all over the place on her canvas, and then just magics it into a person or whatever. It's fascinating to watch, but I have no idea how it works.
And that's something that like I can't do. I can't get to a finished shape without starting with some kind of like line drawing, but that's the shape language I learned to communicate in.
That's fair.
Like I see these other people just start putting blobs of color on the screen, and they just keep putting smaller and smaller blobs, and then all of a sudden you got a finished piece, and I'm like, that's witchcraft. I don't know how they did that. I have to start out with like I'm drawing a comic book page, and then try and morph that into color.
Yeah, that's I'm not like, I say I'm not an artist. Like, I can draw stuff. If you've got a long time to wait, I can make something presentable, but as a general rule, I don't consider myself like a pencil artist. But I too need the shape to be outlined before I can like, I can't just do blobs of color like Katie can. Like, yeah, like it's witchcraft. Katie's a witch.
Down with the witch.
She's very like outdoorsy like one with nature kind of person too, so she probably is a witch. You're a witch, aren't you,
She
Katie?
cuts her yard with a scythe. Like
Did you
she's
see
something.
the picture she posted earlier today? She broke a freaking pitchfork thing. Like, how do you break it? Like, it's made of solid metal. How did you do that? And her response was, "I'm Katie the Destroyer, remember?" Which, fair. Katie can break shit.
I love
We
this
got some
costume.
interesting weather coming in right now. Like, the sky's pretty yellow right now, so if there's a tornado, I'm just gonna leave, okay?
Okay.
I don't think there's gonna be one right now, but
Brian
Holy shit,
will run
Katie
the
says
rest
it's not
of
the first
game.
fork she's ever broken. What are you doing with this?
She's out there working. I don't know what you're doing with your pitchforks. You're just cosplaying. She's out there working with it.
I haven't wielded a pitchfork in probably 15 years. And one time I did wield... I grew up on a farm. Like, obviously I've used a pitchfork before. One time I stabbed my brother in the ankle, and it was an accident because his dumbass was standing in the
It was
pile
an accident.
I'm sure he deserved it for something. But I poked him. I did poke him hard enough to draw blood, but thankfully it was not strong enough or not deep enough to go like it was. Well, maybe it was, but back in the 80s, it was not an emergency room type of wound.
It wasn't
now
a
he's
worth
got
a
this little,
copay kind of injury.
It's like a little 1/4 inch pock mark on his ankle, and
Very few
This-
things in the 80s were emergency room worthy.
That's
Like
true.
Mhm.
bleeding out of both ears, blindness. Yeah.
Oh,
it
man.
took a bit.
I was listening to like it was like a younger millennial, like not like little young, but like a younger millennial who is married to like a younger end Gen Z or Gen X, and and she was going on and on about like how all he had to put on, like when he got hurt, he just put some hydrogen peroxide on it, and like how terrible that was, and I just started dying laughing that like hydrogen peroxide was so bad, and she's like, well, what did you have to put on it? And I was like, it was rubbing alcohol or dirt. Like that was our two choices most of the time. Like you either rub dirt in it or you got rubbing alcohol. And
Bactine. My family was Bactine.
My
still to
grandma was
this
a big
day,
like my grandma was a depression baby, and she was a big fan of putting butter on everything. I don't know, like, especially burns, but like butter on an open cut. Why? I don't understand it. But like soap and water first, and then butter.
though honestly, anything that'll seal it is better than nothing. Like
Yeah, that's true.
like a lot of people will do Vaseline, which isn't like, it's not inherently a cure, but it is sealing it, which is, I was just recently reading about wound care for no reason I'm not going to talk about. But yeah.
You don't have to go
We're
into
just gonna
detail.
file that under shit that artists have to Google.
Yes.
I read in this, I learned it for a horrible reason, but I learned that sugar is actually kind of antibacterial because it's hydrophilic, right? It likes water, so it sucks the water out of the bacteria, which makes it kind of antibacterial properties. Which Katie said honey would work better than butter, and that's same concept. Honey's kind of antibacterial because it likes to steal moisture from everything, and
it's not salt.
yeah, salt would be okay. So salt would clean the wound. That's fair. I mean, but like, ow.
Technically.
It stinks. I didn't believe him. I had to learn that one the hard way. Because, like, a lot of things are just things people say. A lot of things are just, like, oh,
Very
well, you
fair.
can't do X, Y, Z because, and it's not true. So I was like, surely salt in a wound has got to be just, no, it actually really stinks.
Yep. Another reminder for everybody who's just joining us: type #free stuff into the comments if you want to be entered to win one of these drawings. If you want to win Fish's drawing, you have to be a Granica backer. If you want to win Kelson's drawing, you have to be an Alice Lost in Wonderland backer. Go to back Granica at back@lagunastudios.net and go to back Alice at gomrfish.com. And you should probably back both because you're going to miss out on at least one great story if you don't. Just saying. And there's a digital tier for both. And like you can just go and back $1. We both got
There's a
dollar
tip
tiers,
jar on both, too. So
which $1 is, and just so we're clear here, I'm not sending you the art until after the campaign is over because you don't get to get the art and then cancel your pledge. That's not how this works.
Oh, that's sneaky.
So I learned that the hard way. Somebody's a big fan of doing that. Some people are, and so yeah, no, you can have the art, but you have to back and you have to follow through with your pledge.
Yeah.
We got some cool shit. Fish, you can talk about your stuff here too, but like for us, we've got 2 covers, so you can get the standard cover, they're the store cover with that Kelson and Eve Pinker did, and you can get the B cover, which is Lloyd Ladera's work, and you can get a little Ness acrylic figurine to put on your desk or whatever. I don't care what you do with it.
which is the whole reason that we now have acrylic figurines on our campaign, because
and those are
I saw
amazing, too.
those and that was so cool
They're
that
amazing.
I had to do it. And we put a poll up on the community page. You can go vote on which image you like best, and that will be the one that I end up finishing and sending off.
Yeah.
I'm
so go
thinking,
do that.
honestly, it might end up being the images that I put on my big banners too, because one of them so far that's winning is the standing Alice with her sword on her back, and just like over her shoulder, and I think that looks so badass.
You say
The-
banner, you mean like your con banner?
Yeah, like the
Because
7 foot.
she would look fucking amazing on your con, like on one
Oh,
of those
yeah.
vertical, what are those collapsible ones? Yeah,
Mhm.
she would look awesome on one of those.
And I'm thinking like I'm probably gonna do 2, and have like one on one side of Big Ten and one on one side of her, and then
I mean, I do like, I have a soft spot for Virgil,
mhm.
and I think Virgil deserves a banner too, but I gotta say, Alice and Big Ten are really striking to look at. Like, they have very good character design, and Virgil, I don't know, he's also very striking. I don't know.
I love Virgil, but my wife at the last con, she was like, "Babe, as much as you love Green Zone, I think we might need to stop taking it to shows, because it's just a harder sell in this environment now, with all the political nonsense about the police.
I didn't even think about that. That's absolutely right. Oof.
It is just everybody I sold several copies of it this weekend, but most people, once they hear police, their brain shuts down and they make an assumption that the story is saying one thing or the other that they've already made up in their head, and it's not doing either, but they're not listening anymore because they've already made up their mind.
Yeah, okay.
And-
Alice is going to be a much easier sell at cons for sure.
Oh, and it already was. Like, I sold so many copies of Fishtails because, like, after I pitched Caw and after I pitched Green Zone and T-Man, and I'd be like, and I also have this anthology series that happens to have the beginning of my new book, Alice. And once I described that, it was a sale automatically. And a lot of those people came back to tell me how much they loved Alice, and, how awesome it was, and how, they've gone to check out the backer kit campaign, and as soon as they get paid, they're going to back it, and, all that. And like, that was one of the dudes that I fell down and nearly cracked my skull open, was just going on and on about how much he loved Alice and he wanted to take a picture with me. And then,
right.
I nearly killed myself.
Oh, well, at least you didn't die.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say to that.
I do think I
least
gave
you didn't
myself
die.
another concussion, but man, as far as concussions go, it wasn't bad. Just a light little headache this time.
Well, that's
But
good.
I've given myself so many over the years, I can shake my head no too hard and give myself another one now.
That's something. That's almost like you should put that on your resume.
I should really I should get a
Backer.
will and donate my brain to science for I can't even remember the initials for it. The NFL boxer disease.
Oh
getting too
yeah,
many
the
concussions.
CTE, is that what it is?
Something like that.
Yeah, the trauma one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one I think, and that's the one that the wrestlers get too.
Mm-hmm.
So
You have to do a backer
anyway.
kit to get you a helmet. Hey,
At this
I'm
point, it
gonna donate
wouldn't
my
work.
brain to
My
science.
brain's
I'm gonna shake my head real fast and it'll pop right out.
Oh no. Let's talk about the rewards again before we go down too far down this rabbit hole. Yeah, no, okay, so what did we say? We got 2 covers, we got a acrylic figure, we got a t-shirt, we've got bundles, you can buy if you're new and you want to see every single book that Laguna Studios has ever put out, there's a tier for that. And if you back, I got cat hair in my, no, isn't that funny? Weird how that would happen, right?
You cat hair? No.
The thing that I want to plug here is that because Granica began its life as a radio play, and we had to, the core story is the same, but much of the actual story, the minutia, the details of the story have changed and been abridged and edited and so on to fit the comic format. And so because we all love the play so much, we have an add-on where you can buy a ticket to our live reading of the play. I got it.
That was epic. That's an epic idea. I love that.
And yeah, so we're gonna do a live reading of that, and that's gonna be actually if you buy a ticket. Now, obviously, we have to fund in order for that to happen. Like if we don't fund, then there's gonna be no play. But we're doing a
Tough for
live
you.
reading, but that is actually gonna be happening well before anyone else gets their rewards. So if you buy a ticket and we fund, then you'll be among the first outside of our little work group here to know the story of Granica, because outside of the little work group, and then like people who've been reading Brian's stuff for a long time too. I guess it's fair to say that there might be a few more people out there that know, but I have no idea how many people you showed this to.
I don't either.
Can't be that.
It's in some places, but you got to know where to look, and I'm not going to tell you.
And it doesn't have Kelson's fantastic art and Fish's amazing colors either. So if you
That only exists here.
if you want to experience all of it, you should buy the book and then get the ticket as an add-on, and then you get everything. Katie's weird. Katie says if we go too far down the rabbit hole, I'll tell you about woodpeckers having a tongue that cushions their brain from impacts. Why do you know this, Katie? She just says I'm full of weird wildlife facts.
Because it's important for drawing woodpeckers accurately. That's how you get the photorealism, is knowing all about the inner workings of their brain pan.
Nope. I hit the wrong button. There we go. Ah! Whoa! We just switch screens back to Fish at the right time. Holy shit!
Ah!
Woo!
Jeez, I'm going so slow.
No.
Oh no!
I'm just
you're
going
not going
fast.
slow. Fish is going fast. It's not you.
It's
not
not
you,
you
it's
at
him.
all.
It's not you.
Yo,
And it's
Kelson,
not a race
if you
by
really
any
want to
means.
be intimidated, we should get you on that one where we have D and Fish and you, and then you can really feel like you're slow, because holy shit, those two.
Oh man, D makes me feel bad every time. And even if I get done first, she still kicks my butt.
Now I am going to prop this up on my leg.
I mean, you did that one with, it's the one where Heidi is Caw, which was pretty amazing.
Oh, that was cool. I
That
really
one-
liked that one.
That one's very good, and I don't actually remember what D drew that time.
That wasn't the time that she drew D herself writing Caw. That
No.
was on Mog and Mel.
That was on Mog and Mal, yeah. Which I think I can have. There's not that many people watching right now. I'm guest hosting a Mog and Mel in a week.
That's awesome.
I sent Mog a message and I said, hey, I got a couple of people that a couple of artists that might be interested in doing a sketch up, and do you want their information? And I was gonna tell them about Kelson and Val, and Mog was like, actually, I need your help. So she has they apparently have an extremely good record of not having to cancel a show. So this whole August 8th thing was really a bummer for her and for Mel. And then she said, well, but if you can guest host the 8th, you can have it for your people. And I was like, well, that's extremely short notice, and I was planning to book for more like a month out, but sure. And then she says, this is setting you up to be a future sub-host for like regular all the time now. And I was like, oh shit. What if I do a really bad
to
job?
help out when they need it, and now I'm on there all the time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
then
which
that's
is-
how I ended up on your show all the time too.
That's very true, yes. And it's fine. I don't have
And
a problem
honestly,
with
that's
it.
how I ended up on 5-Star Fridays.
Really nice.
Yeah.
I had no idea about that. I just thought you and Tony built that together.
No, he started it, and like I was his first guest, and afterwards I was like, yeah, man, that was cool. If you ever need me on again, man, just holler at me. And I think he did maybe one interview without me, and then he was like, hey, how about we team up? And I was like, All right,
Nice.
I'll give it a try.
It-
I
it
mean,
works.
I was like, if nothing else, we'll give it a shot and see, and it'll give me some more experience podcasting and be better prepared for when somebody else invites me on a stream later on. And turns out it's been fun, and
Yeah,
it did
I
prepare
don't-
me.
Is it because is it like an attention whore thing? Because I have a lot of fun doing streams.
I do too.
It's more
I
work
think-
when I'm the host, but because I'm the one responsible for making sure the conversation flows. But it's really fun to be. Actually, it's maybe even more fun to be a guest because then you can just be, and you can just,
can
be
just have
chill and
fun.
relaxed. Yeah.
You don't have to worry about keeping things moving, and it's somebody else's job to turn awkward conversations around and
Exactly.
stop people that are just rambling and all of that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's,
Oh, I love that
that's
expression on her face.
a difficult task. Yeah, this is
Making the
really
gun
good.
even longer.
Oh, yeah.
We can all dream.
Oh, Katie is really good at the euphemisms here because she says you and Sarah just bounce off each other instead of saying you and Sarah talk way too damn much. And Katie is better than she thinks she is at.
She's too
at
polite
hosting
and
too.
British to say anything else.
Katie's better than she believes herself to be, I think, because she was worried about doing her stream and not having somebody to talk for her. And if she has somebody to talk to, though, she explains what she's doing and why she's doing it and stuff. And it's very interesting to watch Katie draw. Which, if we can figure out how to make that damn time zone difference work, because that was our biggest trouble, is the time zones. And if we could figure out how to make that work, we would totally be doing those shows again.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it, and I actually learned a lot besides just, getting to hang out and talk with some friends. I learned a lot on it from the way she was doing things, and that's what inspired me to do that painted cover for the first issue of Caw that was going to be the main cover, but then that white background image just came out so cool that I was like, I'm going to do that one instead.
Yeah. That painted style cover that you did turned out really well too. I really like that one. And the nice thing about doing streams, while like art streams in particular, you can work while you're doing it, and you can still get some stuff done. Maybe not as much as if you weren't streaming, but you can still get some stuff done.
Oh, yeah.
See, Katie says she's still up for doing the show, which cool. We should probably set you up with your own channel though, so that you can get organic subscribers and not just piggyback off of our stuff. So that like if it ends up being a thing, you can take it and run with it. I don't know. That would be a little extra work for me as the producer, I guess, but I make my life harder on a regular basis, so it's no
Oh,
problem.
man. Don't we, though? I'm constantly, I am so far behind on so many things, and then somebody's like, man, I wish I could do something crazy ridiculous. I'm like, oh, I'll help you. No problem. Yeah, that won't be an issue at all. I sure I can find the time. No, I'm not busy. No, my clients aren't wondering where their pages are. No, yeah, no problem. I got you back.
It's fine.
Why
It's
didn't I
fine.
do that?
I just did set up a little Comictopia launch party chat for the Comictopia creators, and somehow it was like, oh yeah, so now I want to do a live stream on Thursdays, every Thursday now, not just. And then I thought to myself, I was like, why would I want to do that? But I do. Like, we don't have any. Well, among Agents of Geekdom, we don't have any show that's the whole purpose is to just talk about people's Kickstarters, and it seemed like a good idea. So that's what's happening now.
There was a new show that came out that I learned about on TikTok, and the whole point was to try and promote indie comics, and I was like, oh man, that's awesome. I want to
Oh,
get on
cool.
there. That's so cool, and I saw a lot of great books and creators get on there, and then he made a really poorly thought out comment about AI art, and then later on he apologized and admitted that he didn't really understand what it was or the implications of it, but then his apology very quickly turned into a, but it's these people that made it a big deal, and that, you know, like, it was a I'm sorry, but if you weren't such an asshole about it kind of apology. And
Disingenuous.
and
Yeah,
the show just hasn't really been doing great since.
that's
And it makes me
unfortunate.
sad because it started out really great.
I don't. If generative AI had gone about, if the people who made it had gone about it in an ethical way, I would have zero problems with it. Just pay the people. I mean, honestly, you could pay the people whose work you already stole and make it right retroactively. It's a thing you can do.
Mm-hmm.
But first of all, you gotta be willing to remove the art of the people who say they don't want their art to be a part of it, and you've got to actually follow through with paying for it, and then never do that again, which is also really important.
Yeah, true.
But God, as a general concept, it's you're not getting good art that way. But like, I've heard people, like, if you could remove the ethics from it, which you can't, but like, let's just pretend that you could. It's a really useful tool for like references and like people who just want to like non-artists who just want to give the idea to the artist, stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of good uses for it.
I
It's just
played
that
with it
it's-
for a minute, and it was really fun for brainstorming a new idea.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
like
I
I
agree.
don't have a look planned out, seeing what kind of crazy things the AI came up with would like spur new ideas in me of like shapes and stuff for the
Yeah,
the
exactly.
body and whatnot. And it
It's-
was fun, but you know, it was never going to put out anything as good as what I think I put out.
Right,
but-
exactly.
It was a fun, creative tool for that.
Yeah.
I've seen some people get some pretty neat stuff out of it, and I've seen some people get some pretty neat stuff out of it pretty consistently, which is the real trick.
That's fair. It's just, yeah, it's like for me, the problem that I have with it is 100% the ethics. It's not
Mhm.
it's not people who use it like you said, like you did. I played with it for a minute too, and it's fun and it's useful, but not at the cost of the livelihoods of thousands, if not millions, of artists.
Yeah.
And also, it's not improving fast enough. Like, it's still, there's a lot of, like, it's improving fast, and there's going to be a point that we aren't going to be able to tell the difference between AI
Oh, yeah.
and artist stuff, except for that it's kind of all homogenous and lacks soul, which is why there's going to be a subset of people who don't care about that and will never.
Oh, there's going to be
care
people
about
that love it and are
And
cultivating it.
They don't care that there's no soul in the art. They don't care that it just lacks that something. But most people care about the art a little bit more than that. That I've seen, and I have a bias, you know, like my little bubble is full of artists, but we have keener eyes, so maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm very full of shit and I don't know what I'm talking about. But there's also been a big backlash with authors using AI for their covers, which authors generally write books that contain zero art inside. So just getting backlash for the covers is a big deal. And it's so fucking easy to just pay. Like, you can find artists that'll do you a beautiful, one-of-a-kind cover for a couple $100. You do not need to use AI. If you're,
Yeah,
if
I mean,
you're
you can
already
get a
putting that
nice-
much effort into it.
Cover for probably $50 off of Fiverr. You know, it might not be a beautiful painted image of a woman or whatever, but you could get a nice like color cover with the lettering on it cheap. Like, you could have something to put on your book that looks nice.
Katie says she's never used AI. If I need references, I tend to buy reference packs on ArtStation, as AI stuff has too many flaws, and that is very true. I just
Yeah, I
backed.
agree.
Do you guys artists remember Adorka stock?
Oh yeah.
They've got a backer kit running right now where you can buy a shitload of our reference books.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I backed it. I can send you the link.
I would love to have that.
Backed it, and oh shit, I'm signed into the wrong account here. But yeah, like they have just tons of stuff there, and I was like, this kind of pisses me off actually, because I can't afford all of the stuff, and I want all of the stuff.
Because I love the fact that they take pictures like with swords and with things like with props and stuff, the way we need references to work off of. And that's one of the things that I never thought I would have trouble with, but like coming up with original cool poses for Alice to be in, where she looks like she's believably swinging a sword and doing whatever else I need her to be doing, is tricky to come up with new poses and not just the same one over and over again. You know?
Yeah, for sure. I posted a link in the private chat. That's not the right one. The one that I just posted now is the right one. But it's, yeah, I love that Adorka stock has like people of all shapes and sizes too. So like if you're looking for a tall, muscly man, they've got it. If you're looking for a skinny, androgynous person of any gender, you know, like they've got it. They've got plus size women. They've got every weapon imaginable for your reference. Like, and they've got so many awesome poses that you can just tell how much time and effort they put into that. Like they are clearly, like, just I can only imagine the photo shoots. Like they got ladders and they're jumping off of ladders into crazy poses and stuff. And it's like, oh, that one wasn't quite right. Do it again. And like imagine how weird those photo shoots must be out of context, you know.
What is this platform? What do they do? I've never heard of this before.
Really? It's called Adorka stock is the name of the. I think that they're adorkastock.com too. But
didn't it just start out as like the girl in the beginning?
It was just the girl, and she was just posting reference photos of herself doing stuff on DeviantArt, I think.
Like in tights and stuff. And,
like
and she was kind of dorky, and she was doing stock photos, so it was a Dorka stock, and she would just do weird things and poses and stuff, and it grew into this whole thing, and you know, and she got better and better, like bodysuits that had like lines and stuff on it for perspective, and oh my god, amazing. That is so cute.
Kelson, I cannot recommend them highly enough. You do have to pay for the stuff, but well worth it. And like you know what really is cool is you can pay, or you can not pay, you can send them a message and be like, I am looking for this thing and I just can't find it anywhere. Can you do this? And sometimes they do it.
That's cool.
So it's really fun, and yeah, it's turned into a really cool thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna a dork is stock. Okay.
Yeah, a Dorka stock. I posted the link to the backer kit campaign into the
man, they've
chat,
got a whole.
But yeah,
book
it's adorkastock.com.
On hands, a whole book on feet, a whole book on expressions.
It's very cool.
Oh, the chair pack! Oh my god!
And Mr. Engineer's over there just going, Yep, this sounds fun. Yep.
I can draft a chair.
Art, drawing, paper.
And this is why I hire artists, because I can't draw this stuff. And it's worth it to get somebody who knows what the hell they're doing.
Exactly, that's...
Well, and like, most of the time...
Katie, you were on DeviantArt as long as I was, so I can't believe that that you just learned about them. I remember finding the campaign on BackerKit and going, oh my god, and then I showed everybody in the group chat, that was... and so yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I just backed it and backed for several of the add-ons. Yes. Now I gotta figure out how to pay for that.
Katie says currently yeah, no shit, right? Currently wrestling with trying to draw curly hair. Curly hair is... I can't do any hair. I'm so bad at hair. I used to love drawing hair, and then when I realized it doesn't look like hair anymore,
I have realized that I kind of draw the same hair types kind of over and over again. I
Mhm.
always, for men, I always do middle parts. I don't know why. It's just a thing. Maybe it's because I have a middle part, and I think that every man in the world needs to have one. But
Mine's just real wide. Comes down to here.
Yeah, Katie.
yeah.
Katie sent a pic of the thing, and yeah, I can see you created a problem for yourself where you must draw curly hair.
may
I-
may I ask real quick so far
Sure.
if this is looking from Mr. Fish, if this is looking accurate in any way, like the
Oh, that is beautiful, man. I absolutely love that. That is so cool.
oh, thank you. Okay,
That
good.
absolutely looks like it needs to be her face from like the the animated musical movie. Like someday I will kill a big bounty and we'll be rich and buy a mountain.
We need to make like a gajillion dollars so that we can get Kelson to animate some stuff because that's your jam, right? Animating.
I am well was because I haven't animated in a little minute, but yes,
Oh.
it is. Yeah.
Dude, don't even get me talking about animating. And they don't even make the software anymore that I used to use.
It would be really cool if we could just, like our comics, like we got this comic and now it's a cartoon too. Cool, right?
Yeah.
But there's not enough money. That's the problem. Like I would absolutely want to do it. And
That's a
that's
thing.
actually even some stuff I could help with because once I got the base image, I can work with that. But it's not enough money.
I'm so tempted. Like, it would be so easy to just switch over to just doing a YouTube channel and just try and do animated little bits instead of selling
Yeah.
comics and try and monetize that as opposed to trying to sell comics at a con. But man, that's time consuming work. Like, I can get so many comics done and continue to sell them for the rest of my life. And, trying to get that one video to be monetized is tough.
Yeah.
Trying to deliver some encouragement.
Is that what that was? I was like, who the fuck is dragging their fingernail across? It's the cat.
Whoa.
Very, very happy though. I mean, that's good. And we should just full screen you holding the cat, and then when everybody comes across our video on YouTube, they'll be like, "Ooh, cat!"
You'll be celebrity.
Oh,
I got so many cats here, and they're all dicks. Nobody's coming to help. Bunch of bullshit. The old one will come when he gets hungry, and then he'll be all up in my shit. But until he's hungry, and he probably won't be because I fed him right before we did this. So, I get no love.
Ain't no love in the heart of the city.
And
Cat is the most valuable thing I bring to the conversation.
Jeffrey's trying to get Brian started with the puns. I think that's why I can't think of anything. Like, I have no original ideas anymore because I broke my brain trying to out-pun Brian McAvoy 10 years ago. And now it doesn't work anymore.
And Amanda will wipe the floor with me.
Yeah, Amanda scares me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Like, so far, she's been good at everything I've asked her to do, and that scares me. Makes me nervous. She's a witch. But yeah, no, seriously, Amanda's been a huge help. Amanda's been a huge help, and Jeffrey's been a huge help, and Delaney's been a huge help. Like, what would we do without our significant others just putting up with our bullshit for this whole thing?
Oh man,
Ugh.
I just had to like put my wife's name. Like I had to dedicate Alice to my wife and my kids because, like, I literally could not do this without her having my back the way she does,
Mm.
and B, my poor kids had to listen to these stories their whole life. So I'm like, between it, they all deserve a medal.
For sure. Excuse me. I had a thought. Where'd it go? Oh, what do you think about like how in a crossover, how would Alice be? What would she be doing if she came to the Granica universe and found herself in outer space?
Well,
Oh.
suffocating.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like,
Yeah, it depends on where
she
she
has
if
a
she,
magic
just
sword that can cut holes
in outer
reality.
space. Well, yeah, but there's still like, despite appearances, there are still like rules.
She would
Like-
freeze to death first.
There's tons of rules in my universe. Tons of them. That's why you're like, what would happen if somebody appeared in outer space? I'm like, they die. Like
I
they'd have a
didn't-
few seconds.
I didn't exactly mean it that literally, and you knew that, asshole.
Did I though? You said
Well, I
outer
admit
space.
it.
Well, on the boat, on the houseboat, what would happen?
Oh well, that's a
'Cause, like,
totally different answer.
Right now, there's not a lot going on, but in future issues, Alice might find herself in a bit more of a pickle.
And that
Potentially.
entirely depends on like what she brings with her as well. Like, is she transporting a bounty home, and does he get loose on the houseboat, or like, you know, any number of things.
Ooh.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! And what would Jerry do if that happened? Whoa.
Some
You would
things.
scream and shout and let it all out.
Yeah. I mean, those are the kinds of situations in which Jerry flourishes, like the chaos. Jerry's good at controlling the situation when shit gets heavy, but
Certain types
Uh,
of heavy are better than others.
yeah, like a mercenary loose on the ship.
You say loose on the ship, like it's the size of a cramped 2-bedroom apartment.
Right, yeah, no, there's not a lot of place to go.
She's
So,
in
like,
the air
that would be a very bad thing. It would be very bad.
She's up to her wrist in an air duct.
I mean, again, like this thing is like a glorified hotel room. So it's like it's not even like you can't even call it an Airbnb because it's not even that. It's a tin can with 2 stories, basically. It's not much of anything. Like that would be a little chaotic if 2 people suddenly found themselves in there along with the 4 that were already there. First of all, how the hell did they get there? And secondly,
No, but-
one of them's possibly a bad guy. Like it would be
You
a story.
know, I was gonna say, speaking of the size of the houseboat in the comic, if I did not have Brian's mock-up of what it should, the layout and everything, it would have been 10 times more difficult to figure out where to place the characters in each panel. So that was a huge help.
That's funny you say that. I found myself referencing that a whole lot too. It was very, very helpful.
That's the kind of
think it's-
drawing I do.
Yeah, after I grilled you endlessly about what did it really look like, you were finally like, look, I'll make a picture. And it helped so much.
Mm-hmm.
Mystery voice.
Oh,
I was
good, you
gonna
did
say
too.
that legit startled me because I forgot she was there.
Yes, Amanda's the behind the scenes power player here for the most part, but now you're in the front of the scene. Well, kind of. I mean, your voice is in the front of the scenes here, but
But still lurking.
you will see Amanda's name credited in this book in big old letters too. So Amanda did a significant amount of editing on this and probably kept Brian sane for quite a lot of it. Because, like
a lot
I
of
said,
hand-holding.
I took his baby, I took his precious, and I chopped it all up.
No, worse. You took my baby and you're like, here's a machete. You do it. But my baby.
That's unfair. I didn't make you do all of it. We had
no, but
several
there were
hours of
times.
voice calls and several back and forth, lots of back and forth
Lot
on
of back
text.
and
I mean,
forth.
it was
Mhm.
it was difficult. It was worth it in the end. This is a great book.
Yeah.
But it was very tough. And I mean, there was a point like at the beginning of it, I was like, "It's not my story. I can do this. I can be cutthroat." And then by the end of it, I was like, "But, I don't want to lose
Not
this
that part.
But Brian's crying.
I wasn't even thinking about you at that point. I was upset because I had to lose parts that I loved too. It was very difficult. I mean, I've done shit like this before. It's not like it's new to me, but for some reason this one was extra hard. Maybe it was because I was, murdering the baby of my friend. That would have been easier to do if it was somebody that I didn't care about. But yeah, like also just there's a lot of really good exposition and really good conversation. Just a bunch of really good stuff that we just couldn't keep. And that is why you should buy a ticket to the live stream, play reading, or script reading. But
Plug.
yeah, there's just so much that we had to lose. And,
And not everything that was cut is gone for good. Some of it's gonna necessarily come back into the second issue. If the first one gets funded. Hint, hint.
That's the thing.
Contingency
And
plans,
like
but
so
I'd
many of
rather
those
not have 'em.
ideas can come back in another place and still like give that same information and whatnot. That's something I've had to come to terms with, because there's so many things that for years I've had stuck in my head, like this is when that happens. They have to come before this comes, before that comes. But now I'm having to come to terms with like telling a really good story is better, and that will make people come back for the next issue. And then I can introduce that character and I can show backstory later that shows how they were there all the time or whatever. But like getting a good story out matters more in the beginning, and that will make them come back for issue 2.
Yeah.
You know what my dream is? My dream is to one day, I don't know if you guys have heard of him. He's a guy on YouTube. I want to be interviewed by him one day as like, oh, here's a comic book guy that I would like to interview on my YouTube channel. His YouTube channel is called Comic Tropes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
He seems like a lovely, funny guy, fun guy, and I that would be amazing if he was like, hey, Kelson Steele, would you like to be interviewed? I would say yes, I would.
Oh, you caught me breaking the fourth wall. Oh, I love him so much.
Yeah, he's great.
I've got several bucket list things that I'd like to do, I think, comic-wise. But trying to think of it now, I don't remember any of them.
I think another bucket list item I would have is doing a Scooby-Doo comic book. That would be very fun.
Yeah. Would you like to be the one who's making the jokes or just drawing it? Like, because there's a lot of physical humor in a Scooby-Doo book.
That's true. I would say I am more keen on doing the art, but if I got the chance to do both, I would take it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean,
Absolutely.
You gave us a little sample of the art or the comics that you made when you were younger before you started doing this as a job, and they were pretty clever. So I think you could do that. I think you could participate in the writing of the book easily and make it engaging. So
Thank you. Yeah, I even just in my spare time I draw. I've been drawing like a little mini 3-page Scooby-Doo thing, and I just have always been drawing the characters, so that would be really cool. It'd be a dream come true.
Well, if we can get your name out there with with this stuff, then maybe someday they'll approach you. That is
Yeah.
that is not something that's impossible by
That's
any
true.
stretch. It's actually like I personally, I don't know about how like everybody is, but like with us hiring so many artists, when we find a very good one, god damn it, Brian, this fucking guy.
Dream come due.
I'm always worried about having our artists get poached from us, and so I get protective of I'm like, no, who drew this? I don't know who drew it. It's a mystery. No idea.
I just had a friend of mine who's a writer, and he's been pitching a lot of books to bigger publishing companies and stuff. I just love Delaney's comments because I suddenly get so much prettier every time she has something to say, and I just love that.
I like it for the same reason.
But he was saying that a lot of the publishers he was talking to are really looking for like cartoonists that would do books, because trying to keep teams together for brand new books is almost impossible, because like your inker gets hired off by somebody, or your colorist gets hired off and gets a better job and disappears on you, and like one-man show cartoonists like me and stuff are, at least they know I'm going to finish the book. And he's like, dude, you need to be pitching this to some of these publishers. And I'm like, man. And then in the midst of packing my packages, I was like, why am I doing this myself again?
I agree for sure. It is very hard to keep a team together. I mean, that's just like with normal life shit happening. But then like if something bad happens and you're like, should we even be replacing them? And it's hard. But just to get to make your vision go from just an idea to a fully fledged comic book is it's not for the faint of heart. I highly encourage people to do it. Like if you really want to make a comic book a reality, you should try. But definitely be prepared for a lot of setbacks, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of making your friends hate you a little.
It is awesome. Even if the book sucks, it's
so
awesome.
Cool.
And that's an amazing feeling. Not everybody is designed to do this full-time as a job. And it's a good way of figuring it out if it is for you or not. Some of us are wired wrong, and we thrive under this kind of crappy environment and, can't really do anything else as well as we do this. But that's a good way to figure it out.
Yeah, and it's like very rewarding, but so hard. Like we've done those little Q&As before where we say, like, what would you tell an aspiring artist? And like, you don't have to just come to live streams like this and ask those questions. You can join. There's a shitload of groups just on Facebook, and if you hit up Reddit, there's so many people willing to help you on Reddit. Okay, so there's a lot of assholes on Reddit that are very happy to troll you as well. I'd say Facebook is a little friendlier in that regard, but there's a lot of people on Reddit that are more than happy to help. And if you need to hire somebody, there are so many people out there on Reddit that want to work on art stuff. And my biggest problem, because I've actually hired a few people from Reddit, and you'll be learning about them in the coming months and up to a year here. I'm not sure remember, but like I've hired people off of there. And the biggest trouble for me now is making sure that they're not AI artists, because I do not want to give money. That's like my biggest fear, is accidentally giving money to an AI artist because I was not skilled enough to tell the difference,
I have. Whoa, that's amazing. Oh my gosh.
Sick.
That is sick. I have to stop sharing my screen for just a second because I need to plug my laptop in. So
fair enough.
Let me do that.
We were watching a lot of it get drawn, so.
Well, the rest of it will be shown. I just need to
you got it.
change boards real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah. And yeah, so I get worried about hiring an AI artist because I am pretty good at noticing when something's AI, but I'm not perfect. Nobody is. And those AI detecting software, hardly. There is so much shit I've seen get flagged as mostly AI on those things that is not AI at all. Like, that you could probably put some of your stuff through it, Fish, and find out that it would tag some of it as AI when it isn't. So I don't trust those. I
was never prouder than when the facial recognition stuff started picking up faces that I drew and trying to like find people that looked like them to tag them. I was like, oh, I'm doing a good job, because used to I wasn't that good, and now I am.
Yeah. And there's actually I read a thing on Ars Technica, maybe. It was a reliable enough source. Said that space, that some of the software that they use to find objects in outer space, in like deep space, is actually really good at detecting AI because of the reflections in the eyes of the people that are AI. They're never quite perfect, and they should be relatively the same because the light source is the same.
Oh, the eyes aren't always even the same. Like,
right.
You know, that's the little stuff that throws me off, is when there's just little bitty things that are so weirdly off, or it's too perfect but the thing that really gets me now and kind of makes me a little angry is like, if you have any skills like with Photoshop and stuff, it is so easy to just get like, tell AI to make you a cool poster of Batman and then fix the few things that it does wrong in Photoshop, and correct it, and then like print that and take it to a show and look at my fan art. And it's so easy. It's just,
who was that guy? It was an artist who, like, he did big name stuff, and years ago he got accused of tracing, and now it just was a few months ago, I think, he got accused of using AI. And God, who was that? And it was a big time cover artist. Like, they did a Superman cover, and you could see very clearly that the S on the Superman was fucked up, and like that was the kind of screw up that no human could make. Like, my 9-year-old nephew can draw the Superman logo perfectly. And an experienced artist, I can't remember him, he got into a big trouble with that, and he's been replaced on like every cover that was signed up to do now. I cannot remember his name, but
is that the dude that was tracing all the porn actresses for all the female characters?
That was the guy. I'm pretty sure that was the same guy.
Oh, I know. I've heard of him too. The Comic Tropes guy did a video on him, I think.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. I know the guy you're talking about. I don't know his name, but then I don't follow a lot of modern artists. Like, the artists I follow are usually kind of weird and obscure and doing their own thing. Like, I like Marvel and I like DC, but I'm not following them anymore. Like, it's just, there's too much stuff and I'm too far out of the loop now, and I'd have to buy too many books to catch up, and it just takes the fun out of it,
Sure, yeah. I was not raised in a comic book house, and I did not come into comics until I was well into adulthood, and so most of my comic experience is actually indie stuff and off the beaten path stuff. And I actually, most of what I know about Marvel and DC outside of the movies, which aren't necessarily canon to the comics, it is because I wondered about it after watching an MCU movie, and so I googled it and researched and found the comics that it was referencing and then read those. I had and more often than not, and I'm not gonna pretend that I'm not that guy. I will read the shit out of a bunch of comics that I don't even care about in order to win an argument. And I've done it before, and I'll do it again.
No shame.
You're gonna
Is
tell
there
me
a bad
that
reason to read?
Fight reading is still reading.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's hate reading. I mean, I've read some, like, in just the past couple of months, I've read some of the shittiest romance novel stuff, like just, straight up lady porn. And this is all in the name of writing some books, like writing some comics, right? And being like, do we want to work with this author? And I get to draw the straw because I'm usually the one who's willing to like just, yeah, sure, I'll punish myself and read this. And so, usually they're really good, but every now and then we get a stinker. And I was like, and sometimes it's like, okay, this is actually my favorite kind of book to run into, is that the writing is garbage, but the story's good. So we get to take this story and turn it into a good comic. That's fun. But when the book is good in general, then I can enjoy the reading experience more. And when the whole thing is trash, like the story and the writing is bad, that's like I've never finished one of the book that I felt that way about.
Yeah, there's some that are just like, what was the purpose? Like, what were you going for? Because you didn't even hit like the target that you were shooting for. Like one time, somebody was showing me this not safe for work book that somebody had sent to them, and like neither one of us could figure out what the purpose of it was, like where the story was supposed to go, because it was like never sexy, it was never porny, it was just awkward and frustrating, and like a sneak peek into one of the worst relationships ever, and it was just very upsetting and disconcerting. And it's like, I don't think you hit the target you were going for there.
There was that one guy that he keeps making the rounds every so often. I cannot remember his name, but he wrote this awful book, and then he's like, nobody bought it because I'm a white dude, and it's like, somebody's like, allow me to save you the trouble of burning your eyes out of your head after you read this, and I'll just post a couple of excerpts of this book that he says nobody will buy for the exclusive reason that he's a white dude. And it's some of the most word vomity shit that I hear outside of a Trump rally, and I can't I can't make sense of it. Like, it's awful. And we're just like, yeah, that's why nobody's buying your book. And then he actually, some of his emails leaked at one point, where he was like threatening and insulting his editors, who suggested he do stuff to make the book suck less. And it's like, gee, I can't imagine why nobody wants to work with you, my dude.
Mm-hmm.
Or read your book.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't remember that one, Katie. I don't remember, but I know it's a thing. And as soon as I figure out that person's name, I'm furiously Googling right now to try to figure that out.
It's crazy. And like the amount of books I see, and I have to catch myself even sometimes, because sometimes when I'm pitching the book, I get so excited about where it's going to go that I'm pitching where it's headed and not like what's actually in the book. So I have to keep like correcting myself sometimes to be like, okay, this is what's in this book, and not pitching what I hope it'll be someday, because that's a little dishonest. But there's a whole lot of people that like pitch your book as being one thing, and it has nothing to do with that at all. And like, it's nothing like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Very disappointing.
Okay, so the award he won was Bad Sex and Fiction. And I think that it was James Frey, but I gotta double check. But this guy, like, I'm not one for dropping names of people we're harshly criticizing, even if they're famous. But like, this guy's an asshole and he deserves it.
Yeah. I don't even know the guy.
I just found out about him today, but fuck that guy in particular.
Yeah.
Just him and the horse
I'm
he rode
pretty
in
sure
on.
I've read the excerpts, and it really is quite bad.
It is. If I can find these things, I will read them to you right now. It is so bad.
Also, guys, I'm very sorry. I am going pretty slow.
No,
you're fine.
not at all.
You're not going slow. Fish went fast.
I am loving it. I am enjoying every second of it, man.
Right? It
really
looks
fun to
amazing.
Thank you, guys. Well,
yeah, I am mesmerized.
maybe I will just do the inks, and then if I can give it to someone. I can fully color it.
It's cool. You can color. Well, you finish the inks tonight and then color it later. That's cool. Oh, this guy also fabricated parts of the memoir that he wrote.
Sounds like the Dilbert guy.
Could very well be.
I remember back in my childhood in Antarctica when my parents were explorers. And
Oh, you know what? I can't read this.
We got captured by
it's
pirates.
Way too pornographic.
Oh.
But I can't read this.
I'm gonna take my bleepity and stick it in your blank.
Basically. I wanted to read it, and no. It's bad. It's bad. Just trust me on this. It's bad. Just Google him later.
Oh my god, that reminds me. I used to work a lot of like third shifts in gas stations and stuff coming up in the day. And like we would get off of work either in the middle of the night or like the butt crack of dawn, and then we would all go like meet up at other gas stations and hang out because we were all wide awake and couldn't go to sleep. And like it was our afternoon now. So we'd be hanging out at another gas station in the middle of the night, talking and stuff. And we ended up starting this game that was just hilarious, where we would take the adult magazines, behind the counter, and we would start to read the stories off in the most ridiculously inappropriate voices. And then one dude just started like randomly emphasizing certain parts, just like some certain segments of it, like where somebody was trying to be sexy and he would scream it like an exclamation or something, or like they were startled. And then it just became this whole overacting thing. It was so much fun. It's completely inappropriate, but oh my god, it was so much fun.
We should do that for the live reading.
I used to have this old man voice, and I'm here to tell you, when you are hearing like, this lady's story about, taking on the whole hockey team or whatever, and you're hearing it in my like old man Daddy Jim voice, like, well, I was sitting there in the locker room and they just were surrounded. Like, it was so freaking funny.
Dear Penthouse Forums, you'll never believe what happened to me. It was shortly after an ice hockey game, and I had slipped and fallen in the showers, and all my blouse and my skirt had flown off. It was quite embarrassing. Luckily, a few young men found me.
I feel like we've got to end the stream now.
Let's end on that note.
Before we get banned from YouTube here. Like, it's just...
Sorry, I
almost said banned
again.
from Twitter, like as if there's a thing that you can do to get banned from Twitter anymore. Like, you can't get banned from
Not
Twitter.
pay. That'll do it.
Well, that's fair. You can't even stream on Twitter anymore if you don't pay, which...
I'm telling you. Pretty soon you're not even going to be able to check it without paying.
Yeah. You can't look at anything without having an account yourself, which is why I haven't seen anything on Twitter in a while. Unless it's screenshot for me, then I can see it. But yeah, I'm not gonna fucking have a Twitter account just so I can read shit on there. No.
I mean, I've still
what do you think
got
you are,
one,
Pinterest?
but I don't. I mean, every once in a while I'll remember that I can share something there, but
Yeah.
I never could figure out how to get any traction there. I don't know why. It just didn't click with me. I
don't know.
Didn't work.
I started my Twitter account back when it was like the 140 character limit, and then when they raised it, by that point I was already very much like, Twitter's stupid, and there's no point, and that was my problem with it.
Come right back around.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm almost done. I'm on the last leg, literally.
if only my drum set were set up.
Unhook. Cat. I broke my
Cat.
audio. Oh no.
2 cats on screen.
Kitties. Kitties. Yay.
She ripped the cord right out of the computer, and then I plugged it back in and it wouldn't work, and I was like, oh no. I don't have a backup. Oh man, she's very pleased with herself now.
This is probably going to end up being one of my very favorite images of Alice ever.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely, man. This is so cool.
We'll
Oh,
have
geez,
to post
thank you.
both of them to our campaign discussions. Because these came out really great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh wow, geez, I'm very pleased. And obviously, Gary came out incredible too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
See,
like the
I
Disney
felt like
football.
you did a better job than I did. And that's the thing that gets me with D too. Because, like, mine came out looking a whole lot more like yours. And yours came out looking like a really interesting take on Alice. And that's the mistake I keep making. Like that's why D keeps kicking my butt in all of these things. Because D just D's up the whole thing. And it comes out like absolutely looking like Caw, but looking like a cool new take on Caw. And, you know, and then my thing comes out looking more carbon copy-ish. Because especially if I'm trying to work in a style that's different than mine, you know, or the reference material is different than my style, then I'm trying to make it look like that so that it looks right, and then
I do
I
the
don't
same
put my
thing
own
a
flair on
lot.
it.
I do it all the time.
The good thing about that though, like I can see the downside. Like a definite downside is like when you're trying to create fan art, it just doesn't look like your style. But the upside is that you're a chameleon and you can do a lot of different styles, which
True.
is also very useful.
I didn't think I could, but I'm learning. I'm better at it than I thought. Like a friend of mine has worked at like Archie and Marvel and worked on a lot of like, you know, properties owned by big companies and stuff. And like, you got to draw Sonic the Hedgehog to look like Sonic the Hedgehog. You can't like do your own spin on it. You can't do your own spin on old school Archie. It has to look like Archie. And I always thought that would be way too limiting, but in a way it's kind of like working in grayscale. Like the more limiting it is, the more interesting a challenge it becomes to make it look really cool when you have like 5 shades of gray to work with. And I think trying to stick within that framework of a style is an interesting challenge that I didn't think I was up to, but now I'm starting to realize maybe I am.
Yeah, definitely. It's very heavy. You don't care,
Okay.
do you?
So close. Okay.
It's
This,
looking pretty sweet.
I think, if I missed some details, I'm pretty sure this is just about as complete for the inks as I could make it.
This almost looks like if Alice jumped into like the Little Mermaid movie or something. Like she's
I
very
could see
dangerous looking, but also
You're
she
coming
looks
with me,
adorable.
Ursula.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me make this nice and big. Here we go.
Good job, man. That's beautiful.
Very nice.
Very
Thank
good,
you,
Very
thank you.
awesome.
I like playing with the curvature of the stance and the body type and everything. It was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, there's
it's
certainly not any bodies to accentuate in Granica. That's for sure. It's not that kind of comic.
No.
yeah.
This looks amazing though. And then let's
Thank
look
you.
at Fishes again quick here. He
Damn,
looks
yeah, that is so
fantastic
cool.
as well.
Mhm.
I like
love
the
Don't feel
pattern.
bad about how
low
fast
gravity
Fish
and
got his
everything
done.
in the book. Like, I dig that kind of stuff, so I wanted to play that up some and have
Yeah.
fun with it.
And this will look great when it's colored in too. I mean, if you
Mhm.
get to coloring it, we didn't have anybody enter to get to win the drawing, but maybe we'll do.
I'll still color it.
I mean, I bet Fish wants you to color it.
I would absolutely love to have that as a pinup or something.
Yeah,
That's
that would look great.
that's way too cool. Yeah,
Thank you so much.
it's so cute. And I love her little expression. Like, she looks cute, but still a little mean and ornery, and I love that.
She looks
she-
like she's plotting something. Like, yeah, she's adorable, but maybe don't trust her.
She is quickly becoming one of my favorite characters to draw because she just gets to have such weird expressions, and getting to draw somebody that, a girl that looks pretty but isn't always smiling and makes a lot of weird faces and a lot of grimaces and is always like, mad or, something. It's just so much fun to do. And I've had a lot of freedom with her, and that's a lot of fun. I'm loving her character.
Yeah, no, she's so cool to draw. I love the details.
Yeah, I can't wait to see more Alice. I'm sad about no more Virgil for a while, but I'll take
Yeah.
Alice and Big Ten. They're awesome characters.
I am planning on getting the 4th issue of Green Zone out by the end of the year. I'm planning right now for it to be delivered by Christmas on my Patreon. So there will be one more issue for sure because I want to get that finished so I can do the trade. But yeah, mostly it shows. I'm going to be taking Caw for now and Alice when it comes out, when I get the copies in a month or two, and start pushing that because I'm going to be doing a lot more issues of that now.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. Like you said, like your wife said, in the political climate that we have right now, these are the more marketable books. I would highly recommend anybody pick up a copy of Green Zone, but given that you're trying to make a hard sell in hard times, yeah,
it's a great book. I love it, but it is what it is with the political climate right now. And and we all bring our own stuff to all those things, and if you got preconceived notions about what it is going in, then you're not open to what the story is actually about. Where Alice is lots of a badass chick kicking ass and taking names and getting herself into lots of trouble, and the Tin Man having to help get her out of it, and
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so anybody who's still watching, if you are a Granica backer, then you can enter to win Fish's drawing, this one. And if you are a Alice Lost in Wonderland backer, you can enter to win Kelson's drawing, and we'll print it and ship it to you, print it on nice paper and ship it over to you. And if you want to be entered, you have to be a backer, and then you have to type in #free stuff. And Delaney's in.
Woo!
Which I just assumed we were gonna send Delaney like one of everything, so it's fine.
I think we should.
I'm pretty sure Delaney is the #1 backer. So there's a discussion board on the community on Backer Kit too, which is really cool. And the only reason Delaney isn't #1 on there is because I'm posting a bunch of discussions I'm starting the and that's not fair for it to count me as a backer or as the top contributor. But yeah, like Delaney's doing all the interacting in there, and I know that you backed and that you did that it's great. And
She's definitely not
#1 supporter.
right now.
Yeah. And
Oh, I got another backer while we were on. That's awesome.
Yay.
Katie backed both. I don't know if Delaney backed both, but Delaney is definitely a backer for Granica, so you're eligible to win Fish's drawing. Full show. And we'll have to let, or Fish, you'll have to let us know if Delaney backed, or Delaney, you could just tell us here too, I guess. She won't lie.
She says she hasn't backed his yet, but she will.
That's fair.
I am the liaison.
That works. That works. And, well, I mean, like, to back, she's basically gets to have a copy of that if she wants anyway, right? You're not going to tell her no.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so Katie and we'll just, I mean, if it's just going to be Katie and Delaney, then we'll just send you guys one of each. Like, fuck it. We don't have to spin the wheel for that. I mean, I didn't even pull the wheel up because halfway through we still didn't have anybody on here, so I was just like, whatever. But yeah, like, we'll just send Katie and Delaney a copy of everything, because y'all are there. Katie was actually #1 backer. Like, she got the first backer award on, and that's actually for Laguna Studios, that's Katie's first backer award.
Wow.
So that plaque is probably going to cost a fuck ton to send to Scotland. But it's okay, it's for Katie.
It'd probably be cheaper to find somebody to make it there and send it to her.
Well, you know, so I was thinking that I would, because we got a bunch of crap that we got to send Ian now because of his book is done now, and so I was thinking that maybe I'll send it to Ian and then we'll just throw some money at Ian. Like, I'll just give him a label and be like, pass that forward to Katie, please. I don't know if that will save any money, to be honest, but I actually have a bunch of crap to send to Katie too, so maybe I'll just wait and stick it in there, because at this point that thing's probably $100 package, and it's got it's got Christmas presents in it from last year.
I keep meaning to send a care package to my flatter of all the books we've worked on, and then I keep forgetting and thinking that I sent it, and I didn't. And now it's just getting to be a big, massive block of books that's going to cost a fortune.
Yeah.
But
well,
it was
to
going
be
to cost a
fair,
fortune anyway.
when you have to ship stuff overseas, you might as well get the big pile of stuff, because it's going to cost a lot no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
You might and that way you'll save yourself the trouble of having to do it every couple of months too. Just wait and do it one time every year or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We got a couple of new backers too.
Nice.
Awesome.
We got 2 more backers. I don't know if they were on the stream, but it's awesome because we are over $2,000 now, which I am very happy about.
Way to go.
Thank you.
High-fiving myself.
Through the camera. High five, Kelson.
High-fiving Delaney now, too.
I am $141 away.
Woo!
Yay!
So I'm gonna squeak by probably.
Ugh, yeah, I'm torn. Like I'll wake up in the morning, I'll be like, why are we even still trying? And then by the end of the day, I was like, why not? Because it's at this point very stupid to quit, but you know, I'm just disappointed because this would have we would be probably doing better on Kickstarter, but I think there's definitely some truth to the fact that we just need to rebuild our base on BackerKit. Like, it's
well, and BackerKit does have a lot of nice options on it.
Yeah, they do.
You know, like being able to stream straight to your page and being able to do polls. It's just building the community there, like, which is something that I freely admit I've never been good at anywhere. Like, I'm great at taking part in a community. Building one from scratch, I suck. I've tried a few different times on Facebook groups and it did not work.
It's tough. It's tough. But that all being said, Delaney has now backed both, she says.
Yay!
And that all being said, since Delaney and Katie were the only ones who typed #free stuff, we'll just send them both a copy of it when we get to that point. We'll stick it into your packages, and well, Katie, I'll stick it into this massive pile of stuff that I'm supposed to send you, that I was supposed to send you in December. And then, and then I'll probably remember to send it sometime in 2026. That'll be fine with you.
Yeah, don't worry, we haven't had a December yet this year, so no big.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
You say that, then you're gonna blink, and there it went.
No shit, right? So yeah, we'll just give you guys both a copy of it because of each picture, and then also once Kelson is done coloring this, we'll post them up on our respective pages here because everybody deserves to see them and see what they missed out on. You could have won a copy of this, but instead you decided to do what? Sleep? Hang out with your family? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Again, regrets.
Watch the Olympics.
So, ew,
nerd.
gross.
Michael Phelps is even in it, so why bother?
Yeah, why even?
Right? So it's fine because Katie forgets that I have stuff for her too. It's the
This
drawing
is the
Olympics.
Drawing Olympics.
Yeah, it is. Next time we'll get Dee on here and make Kelson feel like he's really slow. Because Dee will kick the pants off both of you, won't she?
I'm literally the Simone Biles of drawing. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, just FYI, y'all. Dee is gonna be like that sketch up that I invited you both to earlier today. Dee's gonna be there. Sorry.
All right. Well, it was nice. I'll see y'all later. I'm gone. I'm done. I give up.
For real, so that was really fun, and I loved watching you both draw these characters, and we should try and do it again at least once more before the end of the campaigns.
Absolutely.
And maybe we can get some people to come in and we can do some more giveaways, because that's always fun too. And in the meantime, people probably got to go to bed and stuff now, and like have supper and things, so we better get going. But thank you everybody for joining us, and go back Granica, back at .lagunastudios.net, and go back Alice Lost in Wonderland, go MrFish.com, and back all of the Comictopia ones if you get a second to page through them. There's a lot of fun stuff on there.
Yeah.
There really is. There's some cool
And if you
stuff.
back 5 of them, you get this weird exquisite corpse book where we all did one page of the whole comic. It's really weird. So,
And cool.
yes. Thank you, Delaney. Wait, that's not how you guys, that's not how the Gen Zers do the heart. I forget. It's fucking weird.
Or you could do the, what is it?
This is what they're doing.
It's 4 a.m. It's time to get up.
I don't know. The kids are weird, and I'm glad I never was one. Katie, go to bed. Katie, go to bed.
Katie, go to bed.
Technically, she's probably
Go to
been
bed.
in bed this whole time.
It's probably the sun is probably coming up. She lives close enough to the North
She
Pole.
lives
The
closer
sun
to the
barely
sun
goes
than
down.
us.
Yes, she does. The sun barely goes down during the summertime there. It's fucking weird. But that being said, let's all like leave now and go do our people things for the rest
Let's
of the night.
do that.
All right. Thank you guys for coming. We'll have a wonderful rest of your night. We'll see you next time. We're gonna be back tomorrow. Me and Brian.
Good night or good morning, wherever you are.
Bye.
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 Bye.